All right. So, like I said, my name is Kevin Holbert. I am one of the co-founders of Jennie Johnson. And just to give you a little bit of background of myself, so I've been working in the job space for a long time. I built a recruiting company. I've worked with job boards. I've built job boards. And over the years, what I've determined is job seekers are not really served in this whole process. So recruiters are chasing the money from the employer. Job boards are chasing the money from the employer as well. So when you get job alerts from job boards, a lot of times they're not relevant to you because they are pushing jobs that they're getting paid more to get candidates to. And the same with recruiters. They're working for the employer. And so what I've always wanted to do is build something that really serves the candidate first. And with the advent of AI tools, I've been able to do that in an efficient way and as cheaply as possible, because in order to run this product, it does cost money and resources. And so hence why Jennie Johnson has subscription plans and it is a paid product. But with that, we're not taking into account what the employers want. We're taking into account what you want and give you all the tools that you need to apply to the right jobs, find the right jobs, and interview for them. And so before AI came about, what I would tell people is, listen, find all the companies that you're interested in, research them, find the right people to talk to, prepare your resume to target that company specifically, and then reach out to them directly and apply to the jobs and introduce yourself. And that takes a lot of work to do that. It takes hours upon hours. But what we've built here is a system that, number one, gives you jobs that are relevant to your profile. Number two, doesn't just give you the job board application links like the Indeeds and the ZipRecruiters, because those get lost. They get thousands or hundreds of applications and they get lost. We try to find you the direct application route on the company career page, and then we give you direct contacts to the company to reach out to. And then in addition to that, then we will help rewrite your resume for each job as you'd like. So I'm going to go through here the site, and so you can get an idea. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. And again, if you guys have any questions, shoot them over in the chat if you'd like. All right. Share my screen. Let's see. All right. Looks like we got it now. All right. So I think everybody's seen the site. You've gotten our emails, but just a quick overview. Here's our site. You can search jobs on here. So if you just search engineer in Los Angeles, let me just, that didn't come up. I hit enter too quickly. So search for jobs. So what this is we are scraping the internet daily to find every available job out there. We're not just sending jobs that employers have posted on our site. So we're scraping Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, all the company careers pages to find every job that we can that's out there. And so then you find a job here, we do an analysis of the job we look at, so how to land this job. We take a look at the job description in the company and give you an idea of what you should do to land this job, to position your resume. We give you the job summary and a company overview. We analyze the company and do a little bit of research. And so this is, now it's where the site stands out, this Power Apply. And if you click Power Apply, then if you have a resume on list with us, then we will analyze your resume compared to the job and give you how your resume matches up and how it doesn't match up. So you have an idea if you possibly would be interested in it because of your experience. The next thing is our application links. So we do a live search and we find all the application links for this role that we can find. This one's not a great example. This one just has LinkedIn, salary.com, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter. It's fine to apply through these job boards, but like I said before, the applications on the job boards get lost a lot. And I know that it's easy to go to LinkedIn or Indeed and quick apply to jobs, but they get lost many of the times because they get inundated with applications through these channels. The job market is so tight right now, and I could go off on a tangent with that. They're stating a 4% unemployment rate. It's more like 10 or 12%. I'm certain of it. These employers are getting hundreds and thousands of applications to every job that they list. And so to stand out for those roles, we want to give you the tools to do that. So I think one of the most key things here is these networking links. We analyze the company and find people at the company that we think you should reach out to directly to express your interest in the role. We even give you short little message that you could use. You could copy it and just send them a LinkedIn message to let them know that you're interested in that role. So I would say for any role you're interested in, apply through the job board or apply through the company careers page, but then also send a few people some notes and try to get your application seen above everybody else. And so this Power Apply process, if you have a free account, you have access to this once every 2 days for a job. But this does take us resources. It takes a live search. We do a live analysis of it. And so it costs us money to run this. That's why it is part of our paid product. And then let me show you, I'm sorry, let me get back on that. Then if you are really interested in this role, you can then get a resume rewritten for this job. We'll take your resume, and I'm going to click it right now. So right now we're running an analysis and we're going to rewrite your resume specifically for that job that you could use to apply. And so I've ran reports for this before. So I'm going to show you, it takes about, 3 to 30 minutes to get this. It's pretty quick. So that will return a newly written resume for you targeting that job. Here's one that I've ran a few. And so here's what that does is on the left-hand side, you can navigate to each section of this report, but you can just go down through it. And so first what it does, it shows you what's missing from your resume. So it talks about what the job posting says and what your resume says and suggestions for how to modify your resume or your approach to them. Then we do a candidate overview and say, hey, this is why they might interview you and this is why they might not. These are the gaps that we're seeing in your resume compared to the job description and what the company does. And then here we'll give you a new targeted resume that you can download. So you can download a PDF, a Word doc, or just a text file. And so you have this new resume. We explain here the changes that we made to your resume. And one key point is this might not be exactly perfect. I think that you should review it and you can modify it. I would download the Word doc, modify it as you need, but really look it over so you know what it says. And then you can send that to the employer. The other thing is we write a targeted cover letter. It's a little bit long and wordy, but we wanted to give you a lot of information. So when you send messages out to the employer, if it's through LinkedIn, if it's an email, or if it's just a little note in your application, you can utilize this to really highlight why you're applying to the role and how your experience matches up to it. We also give a personalized email message, similar to a cover letter, but maybe worded in a little bit different way as like maybe an email. We give you the job details, the company overview. Yeah, and then one of the really, I think the next step after landing a conversation with somebody, we give you these interview questions. And so based on the research that we've ran on the company, on the position, and on your resume, we come up with questions that you likely would hear from them. It's really just finding out where do you not match up to the role, and they're going to ask you about that. And so reading over these interview questions, it really does a lot of research for you. And just by reading over these, you're going to have a good idea of what they probably will ask you, and you're going to come to that conversation really prepared. The next thing we give you is questions to consider. So based on the company and their trajectory, maybe projects they're working on, we give you some thoughtful questions to ask the employer while you're talking to them. So you're not just waiting for questions from them. You come prepared with some questions about what they're doing and to really just showcase that you've researched them a bit. And then at the bottom, we give you those application links and the networking links. And so for this one, this is a good example because this gives you the direct application link on the careers page for that company. And that's where I would highly suggest you apply. But if you want to apply through the job board, that can't get it out there. And then here are those networking links. These are the people, and it gives you, if you drop it down, you can see, we give you an idea of how they can, why to connect with them, what you should maybe message them. And this is really going to make you stand out, I really believe. And like I said before, finding these people, coming up with messaging to send to them, it takes time. And if you were to do that for every job yourself, which I think you should, but if you're doing it without this tool, it would take you hours. And if they don't respond back to you, you're going to feel pretty defeated because you just spent 2-3 hours researching it, rewriting your resume, finding Jamie here at the company and reaching out to her or him. And then if you don't hear back, then it's pretty defeating. But if you run a report with us and reach out to them and spend 20 minutes doing this, and then you move on to the next role, I think your time is going to be utilized. You're not going to feel like that defeated feeling at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. The other thing, by not using these tools, with the way the job market is right now, the other way that people feel defeated, and correct me if I'm wrong, but running a quick apply on Indeed or on LinkedIn and applying to 30 roles a day or 50 roles a day and not hearing back, it's a very similar feeling because a lot of times you're not going to hear back from those either. Mm-hmm. So that is the full report. Let me go over pricing while I'm here. So if you wanted to just get one single resume rewrite based on a job, that'd be $15. But if you think you're going to be searching and applying to more roles, then we have subscription plans. The $19 a month gives you 3 credits, 3 resume rewrites, or the premium gives you 20 per month. And those roll over. So if you don't use them every month, they roll over. And also with the standard subscription, you'll get the Power Apply features, the resume analysis, the application links, and the networking links on 5 jobs a day. And with the premium subscription, it's unlimited. So you can look at all of those for an unlimited amount of jobs. And with these 2 plans, the subscriptions, there's a free trial. So if you sign up for 3 days, you can use these tools and run 1 report, and you won't be charged, and you can cancel it at any time before that 3rd day comes around. What was I going to say there? I think that you should try it out. And everyone on this call, shoot me I'm going to add my email address. I really appreciate you guys joining here. And so shoot me an email. I'll give you my email address and I'll put it in the chat here in a second. And I'll load your account with a free credit. So you don't have to put your credit card in for a free trial. Just send me an email. Let me know you're interested. You wanted to run a report. I'll just add a free credit to your account. And then you can run a report on any job. You can see all the resume analysis, the application links, the networking links on one job. It'll give you a resume rewrite. And then you can see for yourself if you think these tools are beneficial to you. The other part of this is our email alerts. And so when you sign up, you can add your resume to your profile, and then we're going to send you jobs each day. I'm sure almost everybody on this call has already seen these, but what this does is take your resume, we build you a persona, not just pulling out keywords from it, but trying to find roles that would be the next step up in your career. And you can modify that at any time. Right here, you can you see at the top of every email, not seeing what you're looking for, update your job preferences, and that'll take you right here to your profile. And you can modify this profile and write whatever you want in here to help us target it. We do use AI to analyze what's written in here and then target the jobs differently. And so then, oh, sorry, I clicked on that. So any job that you're interested in this email, you click out from it, like I think I just did by mistake. Then you can get to the job details. If you do not have a paid subscription and you are interested in this role and you don't want to pay us to give you those application links, just copy this job and search it. And just search it and find application links for it. I get that when you're in the middle of a job search, things are tight. I've been there many times in my life, and $19 a month is not something to shake a stick at. So if you just want to use our free service for leads on jobs because you think that our matching might be better, you might be getting jobs you're not seeing from other job boards, please utilize that and then use us as a lead source to then just follow up on these jobs. But if you want us to do a little bit more work for you, analyze your resume for each job, find those direct contacts, then that's when I would suggest looking into getting a subscription with us. So this is the email alert. We have a lot of jobs in here. We do a match score for what your persona matches to that role. And then trending jobs are ones that other people have been interested in that we think might be interesting to you. Then this talks about the custom report. And so let me show you that real quick. This is, you could run a report and get a resume rewrite on any job, not just one found through us. You can add the details of it here. So this might be a job that you heard about from a friend. It's not posted somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we'll do a resume rewrite based on that. Or the other thing you can do is write up a job that's your ideal position. It might not even be open, but something that you really want to land and you want to target your approach towards. Add the details into here and we'll rewrite your resume targeting what your ideal position is. So let's say you're a production manager in a food manufacturing plant, but you want to target a director of operations job or a plant manager job. Find a job similar to that, dump the details into here, and we'll rewrite your resume speaking to that next level role. The other part, so you guys know the live webinars, what we're doing right here. We have a little rock, paper, scissors game. You can play the game. I think it's quite fun. If you play the game, let's just go through right now. We have an algorithm, built it. So you can play a rock, paper, scissors game. And if you win 15 times in a row, we'll send you $100. Ties do not count. So you'll keep playing. Every time you get a tie, you can keep playing. So it's just a fun little thing. So if it's a tie, so you can keep playing. You've only won one, so you can keep playing. And then here's your career profile. Another thing is our Trustpilot reviews. Very proud of this. We have 524 reviews, 4.3 stars. This is what everybody's saying about us, and I'm very proud of that. And then we have a quote of the day at the bottom. We've indexed, I think, 10,000 or so famous quotes, and we add them into the bottom just for something fun to have in there. So let me get back to just the viewing here. So that's the general overview of the site, how it works, the pricing. I think that what I want to do now is essentially open up to questions. If anybody has, somebody else wanted to join, I want to admit them, Brian. If anybody has any specific questions that you have about the site.
Yeah, Kevin.
All right, Jace, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, well, I had a question about your opinion about kind of the job search and the economics of it. And I just don't understand, like, who is benefiting, who is thinking that this is an efficient way to get candidates? And, it's like, if they're just going to delete them all, why do it? Why even post it?
That's a good question. I think what happens, especially in this market, when it's an employer market right now, the candidates are coming in mass because so many people are unemployed. They put the job posting out there. They get dozens or hundreds of applications. It runs through their applicant tracking system. That's the software they use to store other applicants. They run some filters, and if they get 100 applicants, they might just talk to 3 of them, and the other ones they just never respond to because they essentially don't have the respect for anyone that applied to the role, and they get tired. They get tired of responding because here's one little thing that's happened over the past 10 years. Indeed, LinkedIn, they added these quick apply features to their jobs to make it easier for candidates to apply, but they made it too easy. So what these employers are seeing is they've got a job for a director of operations of this food manufacturing plant, and they're getting applications from truck drivers or nurses, or because they're just going onto the sites and clicking apply. And so the employers are burnt out. They don't have the energy or the time to respond back to everybody because the system has broken down. That's how I feel. And so I'm gonna turn it back to myself and my tool. If you apply through those, but then you also send a little LinkedIn message to Jamie over in HR at the company and say, hey, Jamie, I applied through the company site. I've got some great experience in food manufacturing. I'd love to chat. That will, I think, push you over the edge. Not every time, but it will help.
Mhm.
So I think the system's broken. I think that these traditional job boards wanted to make it easier for candidates to apply so that they could pull more money from employers for posting jobs. And now it's kind of a mess. 18 months ago, it was a whole different story. Maybe 2 years ago, it was an employer market. I mean, a candidate market. You could name your own price. They were posting jobs and they couldn't pay somebody to apply to a job. But that's all shifted. And so if you're looking for a job, you're competing against these other people that are just bombing them with applications. And so doing a little bit more work to make yourself stand out with a, targeted resume, reaching out to them directly, I think that really helps. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Legally, they have to post these jobs as well, Kevin. And so they keep a record just in case the authorities come down, and then they can say, yes, I did post. Sometimes they do have inside candidates that they are either going to promote or, bring from another department or whatever, but they still have to go ahead and post it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's so rude to do that, to have no intention to look at them, but to post it because the law tells them to. Yeah, that's a very good point, Eric.
Yeah. So, Kevin, I really want to thank you for coming up with such a creation. Oh, I was about to say next month.
Thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. I mean, I put a lot of work into this, and
this month on the 19th, I'm gonna be 63, and so I haven't been in the job market for a while. Never thought that I would need to, and then all of a sudden here I am since the ending of last year. And so I was just going through frantically trying to find something when I bumped into your company, Jennie Johnson, and I was like, wow, I actually use a service, and I was really, really pleased. I mean, 110%. The resume, because I didn't even know how to rewrite. I mean, I have these ton of experience, I have ton of qualification, etc. But the resume was rewritten. I had a cover letter. I had all these questions that I can anticipate being asked, plus questions that I myself could ask. So thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it. Now, and I know it's a lot of work, and I don't mind paying. I don't have the money to pay, but I don't mind because it works. The value is there. Now, I'm interested in that premium subscription. My question now, my specific question is, I think there are like 20 credits, and I'm not exactly sure how the credits work. I know you will explain that to us a little more later on, but let's say I sign up for a premium, and then in the mix of it, the first week I get, I applied maybe 4, 5, 6 jobs, I got a response, and then all of a sudden here I am with a job offer. How do I treat that premium subscription? Do I just shoot you guys an email and say, hey, I'm doing the cartwheel, I just got a job, how that's my question.
Oh, so how do you cancel it then? That's
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Right on. Let me you can see I can share my screen again, but it's pretty simple. Let me share it just so you can see it.
I think that premium one will make more sense for me. I really want to see it.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so in this tab, so you have your profile. This is your profile, but then all your setting, your profile account, it's your subscription. Just you can cancel it anytime.
Got you.
And so once you cancel it, so right here, this is my account. I have given myself a free account, so mine's a little different. But if you cancel it, then you'll have all these credits and all of the access through the end of the billing cycle. But yeah, you can just cancel anytime right here. Or if you email us, we can do it for you.
Gotcha.
And a couple notes there about that. One, if you email Jennie at Jennie Johnson, I watch that inbox a lot. I have a customer support team that answers it a lot, but also we have an AI system in there so that you will get answers 24 hours a day. So if you email in and say, listen, jobs aren't really targeted, I'm looking for this, it will respond back to you within minutes with other jobs that you might be interested in or how to tweak your profile. So just so you're aware, we do use AI a lot in this. And that's a topic that's sometimes touchy for people because you think of AI, you think of Skynet or whatever it is. It's really just a software that we built to hone to our uses. People used to use a calculator and a pencil for their spreadsheets. Then Excel came around and they started using that. So, it's not a machine that's running the world. That's for sure. But we do utilize it. The other point I wanted to make, and Eric, when you brought up having, age and things like that, I do get a lot of people that reach out to me and say, listen, I'm later in my career, but I'm looking for a role and I'm worried about ageism or whatever the word
and it's real.
What I really suggest is a couple things. I've been a recruiter. I've looked at thousands of resumes. I would say don't add experience or years on beyond 20 years of your experience possibly. You want to just get your foot in the door. You want to highlight why you're a good fit for the role, and you don't want to give people a reason to say no. Just like talking to a girl or whatever it is, don't give them reasons up front to say no. Only give them reasons to say yes. Then you get into a conversation with them. The other thing is, someone later in their career who has a vast amount of experience, you might be better set up to be a consultant for them. And rather than them hiring on a full-time employee, why don't they just hire you as possibly a consultant? So they don't have to put the effort into hiring a W-2 employee who might be in the twilight of their career, but they have a lot of experience. And so you can also use our jobs as a lead source. If you're just looking to consult, you're looking to do part-time work, reach out to these companies and apply. But then once you get in a conversation with them, say, listen, why don't I just consult for you for 20 hours a week at this rate, and you don't have to bring on a full-time employee. I think that a lot of employers are tight on budgets, and so they might be open to that. So I wouldn't take a job posting as the Bible. Just because they say it's 40 hours a week, it's in the office, it's this salary, they might be open to something else if you present it to them the right way. So that's what I would suggest as well. It's across the board. Companies are tight, budgets are tight, and so I think they will be open to unique situations. The other thing I think I wanted to point out was job listings that are older. A job might have been posted 20, 30 days ago, and a lot of people are conditioned to blow by those and not pay attention. I think that it's still worth, if you think it's a good match to you, I think it's still worth, number one, applying, number two, reaching out to them, because they still should be open to someone who's really qualified for it. And taking that little bit of extra time to reach out to them personally will make you stand out. And like we talked about earlier in the call, they post a job, they get hundreds of applications. If they might ignore most of those, but then a month later, somebody sends them a LinkedIn message saying they're interested, you're going to stand out. And so I would not disregard jobs just because it says it's posted a longer time ago.
Got it. Thank you.
Kevin, can you speak to what a credit equals, please?
Yeah, a credit equals a resume rewrite. That full report that I went over, that's what a credit equals. So there's two parts of the service. There is the called the Power Apply Access. You get to see the application links, the networking links, the resume analysis for each job. That's one part of it. Then the credits are a full resume rewrite, the full cover letter, the interview questions. So that's what you get with the credits per month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
what is support like if I have a question or, those types of things?
Email into us and we'll answer the questions as best we can. We don't do like individual consulting on a resume, really, but I'm in the inbox every day. So when you're asking questions, I'm in there answering them as best I can.
So when you're looking at a resume rewrite, I have a resume that I think is decent. What is the foundation that you're building from or starting from?
Oh, so we're taking your full resume and then we are really gearing it towards that specific job. So we're taking the job details of that job, the company details as well,
yep,
and then reorganizing your current resume to really highlight what they're asking for in a job. Does that make sense?
Yes. So you're not writing the initial resume. You're taking whatever you've got, whatever I give you right now, you'll build upon that.
Yeah, exactly. We need some sort of starting point. And if you could, I think you could test it out, or if you wanted to, but really, if you didn't have a resume at all and you just threw up a bunch of words on a document of what you've done and the companies you've done and threw it through our system, it would rewrite it and organize it in a resume fashion. So, having a starting point is great. And it's hard to talk about yourself in a lot of ways, but as long as you highlight the skills and experience you have, our system will write it so that it can read clearly and succinctly. And you'll see that our resume rewrites keep it to 2 pages or less. Some people add in 5-6 page resumes. They're going to get ignored. They really are. And you can have a 6-page resume for a certain job category and send it to them later. But I think that initial outreach, a short resume is better.
What do you generally see as the timeline from someone signing up for your service to finding a job and switching it off?
That's a tough question. We've only had our subscription plans live for about 2 months, so we don't have a lot of data of when people are dropping off. I would hope that it'd be less than a month. I want somebody to find a job very quickly and stop using our service. Well, I don't want them to stop using the service. I would like for them to, my ideal situation is they use the service, they're successful a month, 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They switch off their paid plan and keep getting our email alerts so they keep in tune with the job market so that they can just keep their ear to the ground for what's out there. And then when they do decide to look again, then they could use the service again. But unfortunately, I'm not going to just make something up. I don't have solid data.
That's fair. Who is Jennie Johnson? She doesn't appear on this. She's not here. Where is she?
Yeah, Jennie is our AI career coach. So we created Jennie as as our AI representation of a career coach, somebody that can answer emails and write resumes within seconds, 24 hours a day. And so me and the team, we are all Jennie, I guess.
Gotcha.
There definitely was conversations at the beginning. We don't want to dupe people. We don't want them to think that. That's why we have a cartoon image of her on there now. But it is a lot of AI. So that's who she is. She's just the representation of all of us.
Have you ever paid out the $100?
Twice.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
We started our email alert in, I think, November of last year. We had no resume rewrites. We had no subscription plans. We just started as an email alert, reaching out to people with jobs, and then we've built in all the services since then. But I think it was probably a month in we've had a winner, and then maybe 2 more months. I think the last time we had a winner was February. Yeah.
Gotcha.
A funny side note, I saw a video this week that somebody said that it should be rock, scissors, dynamite. I think that's what they said. So it shouldn't be paper, because paper doesn't really beat rock. It should be a stick of dynamite. Any other questions while we're on here?
For the premium services, we can also take other job leads. I have a friend of mine who told me about a job. And when I researched a job, I said to her, this job's been posted since last year, 2023. I mean, are you sure that it's still open? And she said, yeah. You know, so I have my doubt, but I wanted to throw that in to you guys and see what you guys could do with it for me.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
Even whether it's the free section or the subscription section, you do take outside.
Oh yeah, yep. It's all based on credit. So if you have a paid plan, you have credits to get a report, you can run it with that. Or if you're running a trial, or if you just want to email me and I'll send you a credit. Like I did that in the chat, just sent you my email address, and then you can run it that way. So a credit works for what we call a custom report. That's a job that we don't have, that you found a job somewhere else and put it in there, or use one that's on there. I'm just going through the site, seeing if I any other things. You know, we have a resources page that's like essentially our blog, so we add information on there. But really wrapping up, you've got my email address. I put it in the chat, kevin@jenniejohnson.com. Email me anytime. I'll respond to you if you have questions. This was built out of necessity, really, for me and my business. I used to run job boards and job alerts for employers, but the market's dried up. People are not paying to post jobs. And I'm seeing so many people struggling to find jobs. And so this is just the tool that we built that I think is going to help people out. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be successful based on the success of other people. And that's where this comes from. Doing what I was doing before, just getting jobs from job boards and driving candidates to that and getting paid for applications to jobs. It wasn't really serving the candidate the best. And so that's why we built this. And like I said, I can't say it enough. If you're looking for a job, you are not alone. It is difficult. The market has been crazy. COVID hits, don't know what's going to happen. Everybody gets free money. The job market's great. Everybody's doing awesome. All that money they printed is disappeared now. And so they've laid off and people aren't hiring as much. And so it's a difficult time. So just so you know, you're not alone in it. But I'll quit rambling and I'm going to let you guys go and start your day. And again, shoot me an email. I really appreciate your time here. And I really wish you luck.
Thanks
Hey, can I ask
again,
one
Kevin.
question?
Oh yeah, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, really quick. Maybe you addressed this earlier, but is it true that some companies give more attention to applicants that apply through a recruiter as opposed to independently?
You know, That's a good question. So a recruiter is being paid by the employer to really sort out the resumes for them and then present them to the company. So yes, they will listen to that recruiter because what they're doing is they're paying that recruiter a huge fee, 20% of that annual salary. So if the job's $100,000, that recruiter is going to get paid 20 grand to fill that role. And so they're doing a lot of work to sort it out and be your voice to the employer. So if you have an employer that's a recruiter that's reaching out to you and trying to get you into a company, then yeah, I think it does help. But they have limited jobs in their corpus. You know, they have to get a job order from a company. So a company has to agree to say, I'm going to pay you 20% fee to get somebody hired. And so short answer, yes. If you're working with a recruiter on a job, yeah, I think it's helpful. But most jobs aren't paying recruiters to fill the role. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they're kind of doing the vetting process, right? The recruiter in a sense, but this way they don't have to, you know, if you apply independently, they don't have to pay that fee, right?
Yeah. And there's things in contract with those recruiting roles that they say, listen, if they come directly, then we're not gonna pay you for it, because they'll say, listen, you sent me Brian's resume on August 1st. However, Brian applied on Indeed on July 31st. So we're not going to pay you that recruiting fee because he applied up directly. But yeah, the recruiting market has dried up a lot because employers are not paying these big fees anymore. And maybe once you hear this, you'll start seeing it. Recruiting companies are going under. They're laying off a lot of their recruiters because they're just not, the fees aren't there anymore that they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, I do notice some recruiters seem a little more stressed or frustrated.
Yeah,
than before.
it's tough. It's tough. There's definitely a place for recruiters. I've done it. I think it's, you know, the employer doesn't have to sort through hundreds of applications on Indeed. They have the recruiter to sort through them and then present them in a nice, neat package and tell them why they should hire them. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Anybody else before I cut it off? All right. All right. Again, shoot me an email anytime. I'd love to hear from you. And I really wish everybody good luck. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Give me fucking control back.